Today is Saturday, August 27th. And I wanted to take a moment to catch up with everything that's gone on this week. I felt so much love and support, and so many people have reached out without even knowing what's going on, and in different states of questions and confusion when they heard that we were going through something. And so I really want you to know how much I appreciate all of the thoughts and wishes and prayers that you've bestowed upon us as a family. Such a solid support system this week. Rocks, my dear friends, and thousands of people, it feels like, have been praying for us that don't even know us. And that is unspeakable, really, truly. And let's see, the past couple weeks, Kevin hadn't been feeling right at all and had some interesting head pressure, and mostly when standing up. But we thought he was feeling unwell from maybe getting some bacteria on the Gulf Coast when we were away, as that was kind of going on over there. And he took some antibiotics. It seemed to clear up for a little bit, a couple days, felt better, and then it came on again, and to the point where he could barely stand up, and then was dizzy and nauseous and vomiting, and it just progressed. And so Monday, he had a CAT scan, and Tuesday morning, I opened his report and was shocked to see the words metastatic brain tumors on the first report. And that's about as far as I got before getting Zoe off and making sure she was where she needed to be for the day while staying grounded and trying to absorb what I had just read. Tuesday afternoon, we were instructed to go to the ER, and got there about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, where they kept us sitting in various waiting rooms. Although everybody was very nice, it was very inefficient. Until about 4 o'clock in the morning, I believe it was, where they took him to an ER bed, so at least he could finally lay down. Happened to be right near the very, very, very loud nurses and doctors station, so I'm not sure how anybody is supposed to get any kind of rest and try to repair their body in that state. Not stressful at all, but he was there until approximately, 1 o'clock the next morning, and then they transferred him up to a bed in the care unit. Today is Saturday, and he is now home awaiting the results of a biopsy. He pushed them to let him out over the weekend, since they wouldn't be reading the biopsy until Monday. There was no point in him staying in the hospital where he really couldn't get any sleep at all, and really felt like he just wanted to be home, and that would help him. So here he is. And these past however many days that's been since Tuesday have been beyond a roller coaster ride, to say the least. Going from complete waves of fear and shock and trauma state, waking up Wednesday morning processing the fact that my husband might die by the weekend, and all the things that come with that, to then finding complete serenity and peace and calm as I came back to the place deep within me that knows God. and was able to tap in and find that, to get grounded and solid in as we navigate this. Yesterday morning, Wednesday night, as I was trying to settle in, I felt and heard clearly he's going to live. And it was like this solid knowing that it couldn't even be penetrated by my logical mind. My logical mind, there's a piece of it, like one little cell that wanted to say that's impossible. Like, given what his scans look like, that is not going to happen. And it wouldn't even let the thought come in that was so solid. And thought maybe I was delusional, but it was just this inexplicable peace that came with it. And if anybody has ever experienced that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are no words. It's what's described when you are in the presence of God. So I went to sleep more peaceful, woke up, different waves to be expected, but really back into the peace state. And Thursday morning, yesterday morning, Friday morning, I went into the hospital and Kevin had just finally had his biopsy, and he was not in a good place. He said, there's just too many. I saw them on the ultrasound, and I think it hit a whole new level for him. And as we sat together and processed, we listened to worship music, we bawled, definitely a lot of ugly crying. I watched, and as we processed together, things started shifting and opening for him, and he could really feel the love and support that was pouring in from everywhere. Knowing that the community that we have, our inner circle, and then communities that are more recent that have embraced us through the church and all of our friends and soul sisters, and just how loved everybody has told somebody else. And I feel like we have literally thousands of people that have been praying for us, and it's just such a beautiful thing. And I saw him get that, like he was loved in a way that I'm not sure that he's ever known, and that many of us maybe don't know if we've ever really known what the true essence of that is. And so we went from being completely distraught in the morning to like completely enlightened in a mind-blowing way, awakening to like nth degree. And as my beautiful soul sister Dawn came to visit and sat with him, she was just blown away, and she is an amazingly powerful, tapped in, already awakened divine being on this earthly planet. It's just indescribable, the beauty and the gifts that have been happening throughout this horrifically terrible time. And this morning I awoke feeling the same, just feeling enveloped. I slept well last night for the first time. I felt enveloped and strong. Zoe and I went and helped at the church for a little bit, and then went to see Kevin and got him out. And then it started to hit me as we were transitioning home. Not really, I don't know, maybe I'm just weary and teary today, and I know that's to be expected. There's just going to be waves of transition, but I felt like all of my parts, like all these layers within me, are activated at the same time with questions and thoughts and fears, and then there's solidness amongst all of that. That is the true divine self. But yet, these parts all are like trying to scream and talk at the same time and let me know that they're there and protecting me. And I get it. And I know it. And I also know that it's because right now I just need to rest so that I can come back into fully being present in that expansive state. And so watching these parts is part of it. I'm not stopping them. I'm aware of them. I'm letting them move. I'm letting myself feel the waves of fatigue and weariness and tears come, and shaking and shock and discharge. And I'm listening to some of the thoughts as they just come through that say, he might not be here, he might die, you might be a widow, he might be, all of it's possible. But I also know that healing has happened on a profound level, and that we both know places of love in God that we never knew. We knew were possible. We've had glimpses. And yet, now we know. Know. And so from that place and that space, I want you to know that that is possible. We just have to keep allowing all of it. The problem comes when we stop all of it, right? And we block it and don't want to feel it or see it or sense it. But the key for us has really been allowing and receiving. Yesterday, I had people offering me to send me money and my friends, which is the most uncomfortable thing ever. And I realized in those moments that if I said no, that I would be blocking divine flow that was trying to come to me. And so I allowed myself to just say, sure, whatever you want. Yes. Yes, I did fight it a little bit, and it's super uncomfortable, all of it. But that's part of my lesson and my learning and my growth in here, is to allow and receive, not just from people, but that's coming from their divine grace. They're wanting to help and feel purposeful. And so who am I to shut that down? If it's being offered, I need to receive it. Just as if I want to give a gift, I want the other person to receive it, knowing that I'm fully giving the gift from a place of authenticity that's moving me to do so. So I just want all of you to know your gifts, your time, your support, all of it, your prayers, every single thought you've thought for us has mattered this week and will continue to matter as we take the next steps in this journey, which will come one at a time. We'll know one at a time, as long as we can keep coming back to this knowing that's deep within us. I love all of you that I know, whoever's watching this. Just know that you are loved. You are loved and you are love.